Life is a mystery, and it feels like home. What's up? Let's fucking go. We are back. My man, John E.
Raps.
And your boy Mars. It's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you, but the Marvel world has had absolutely jack shit for the year until recently. So we came together, we reunited like Voltron to bring you a live edition of the Unknown Comic Book Podcast, your number one place for nerdy shit all across the globe. And I couldn't do it without my partner in crime, my partner in rhyme, the dopest cracker in the NYC, the dopest cracker on the MIC. My brother Logan, he not only cuts people, but he raps. No, I'm just kidding. John E. Raps. What's up, brother, man? How has it been?
It's good to be doing it again.
Hell fucking.
I feel like the last time we did it, it was like episode 1 for 2024. And we were like, we're going to get back on it again, folks. We're going to be rolling out all the dopest content every day, all day. And then here we are.
We are liars, as Henry Rollins would say. But my man has been a busy bee. He's got so much on the music side coming, man. We can't even start before we going into this Deadpool and Wolverine episode and talking about the announcement at San Diego Comic-Con. Before we talk about some of this music, man, you've got three coming in the summer and fall to just give us the hottest shit. So please, before we get into it, just tell the people a little bit about what's coming down the pipe in the world of Johnny Raps.
Well, I'll try to keep it brief, but we got some really good albums coming up right now, and I'm dropping 3 different projects that will hopefully, show my versatility. We got a summer project dropping, and a summer project anyways. I don't know if you can consider August 28th still to be summer.
It's still fucking summer, brother.
Fucking summer. It's Virgo season. It's my birthday. So I'm dropping Baps. And Baps is an album that is all the beats are produced by my homie Dre Hayes from Blairsville, PA. So it's a very special thing because it's, the first time I'm releasing a full collaboration with somebody from my hometown. He's produced a number of the songs that I put out over the years, but this is something that I've been putting together for a long time since we started working together, and so it's nice that that's going to come to fruition. And then for the fall album on October 12th, the show is October 26th. I think the release is going to be like the 22nd or something. It's earlier in the week than that, so we have time to promote it. But it's the album that you produced by Sean Marshall, and it is entitled Old Dirty Cracker. It's probably the piece of work in my catalog right now that I am the most proud of. It just came together so organically. Once you started sending me beats, it was just like it wrote itself. The album wrote itself in a very short amount of time, and we're like, me and Cortex were just like, we got to put this out. This is all bangers. And I'm still, I thought I was done, but you sent me a couple more beats, and I think there might be some additions between now and October to that. The reason of it is I can still work on it up until we want to set it for pre-release. That should be set on pre-release on Even Biz. So I want people to look out for that. And then we're also we got a set release date for my first ever non-explicit album, which is also a funk album entitled John E. Funk. That will come out the day before Jesus' birthday. So we got a summer album, a fall album, and a winter album coming. It's been a long time.
You have a funky Christmas, an old dirty fall, and a BAP-filled summer. So, man, please check out those releases. Support Even Biz, where you support the artist directly. I'm a big proponent of Even Biz. I'm trying to change the music industry, support the artist. It ain't about streams, it's about purchases. So please, this is my first project. I've been dabbling in music since I could talk. It's like podcasting and music have been the only thing, and comic books have been the only thing that really matters to me in my life and at this old ripe age.
A video game here and there,
Video game here and there. I group video games and comic books all together. They're just interactive comic books.
You playing anything right now?
Man, I have been playing WWE 2K24. I'm waiting for the new Call of Duty to drop. But I'm also a wrestling fan, so just all the nerd shit. I've been playing that recently. I'm waiting for some good RPGs, man. Because my favorite game, I've said this before, is Red Dead Redemption 2. That's my favorite game of all time. That came out in 2018, and I'll still go back and play it to this day. I've probably played it over at least 7 times, and that's a long ass game. So that's my throwback when I need just to respect the game. So we'll see, but maybe we could do a video game shit when something hot comes out.
I just started playing Final Fantasy 16, and I find it quite enjoyable. I was talking to my brother about it. I was like, "You remember me playing like Final Fantasy 4 on Super Nintendo? Like, shit, look at this shit
on PlayStation.
What is going on now?" That's pretty cool, man. But also for our comic book fans, I feel like it's been getting a lot of maybe bad reviews, but I really like the Suicide Squad game. I think that shit's fun, yo.
You told me about that. I'm gonna definitely check that out. It has
flying around as Deadshot and just like blowing away some brainiac aliens and stuff. It's mindless, but I think it's fun. It's got a lot going on. It's definitely like it's the first game I played, I think, ever where I was like, I see how video games could give somebody a seizure. Like, I feel like I might have a seizure playing this because there's so much going on.
That's how I felt with the Guardians of the Galaxy video game, which is fucking awesome.
Somebody recommended that to me, right? You only play as Star-Lord, right?
Yeah, you only play as Star-Lord, but you can control in combat the other members of the Guardians of the Galaxy. And then when they really team up, they'll throw in some crazy ass music and have these like awesome interactive battles. One of the most enjoyable comic book IPs I've ever played. So definitely check that out. But yeah, it was a lot going on. It was a couple of times where I was like, I was like, oh shit, I feel that epileptic seizure coming on. So, oh man. So let's freaking get into it, man. It's the one Marvel movie of 2024, but damn it, it filled my soul. So we're gonna give you a full spoiler review. If you have not watched Deadpool and Wolverine yet, go ahead and turn this shit off. Go see it. Come back. I don't know why.
You don't care. Like, unless you just don't care.
Unless you don't care. If you're like me, who goes on Wikipedia and reads what happens before you go to the movie, then go ahead and continue to tune in. But if you're going to send me some nasty texts, like, you spoiled it for me. First, fuck you. Second,
we gave it a week, man, and I'm already starting to forget some of the shit that happened exactly. Like, I don't remember exact lines and stuff. I remember how I felt,
and that's all it's about is how you feel. Luckily,
I can't wait too long to talk about it now, can we?
Too long because it's going to be out the algorithm. But before we proceed, we got a brand new show on the Mars Media Network. It's doing very well. Me and my brother Petty, we have put one together called Oh Hell No. We got 2 episodes out. We have 3 dropping tomorrow at 7 p.m. So
it's good too.
It's really good, man.
Reactions, man.
We literally smoke and watch crazy ass clips all over the internet, and we laugh and talk. It's a very simple show. It's like American Home Video, but with 2 potheads. So it's really it's really good, and I appreciate everybody that's tuning in. What's up, Mr. Anti-Idiotic? Thank you for tuning in. What's up, brother?
Yeah, bro, I gotta jump in on that one time, maybe.
Of course, open invitation anytime. I got some very funny clips that Petty and I have compiled together. So this Sunday, maybe we might do it live. I don't know, but it is hilarious. Episode 3 coming out very soon. So let's get into it. But before we do that, I keep saying before we do that, and we get into this Deadpool and Wolverine, I just want to give you guys our social media. We appreciate all the support. So if you're looking for me, best way to find me is on Instagram. It's right there at Mars_entertainment. You can follow me right there. I am very open. You can send me a DM and I will respond back. What we do there is support what I believe are the artists with integrity, the artist that's doing something, the artist that moved me musically. So you will see all of the great new independent artists out there. You'll see raps videos. You'll see other videos from artists that I think you need to see. And we're starting up the mother show down in the Den. We're starting up the second half of this season with 10 great interviews lined up with some dope artists. So please give us a follow there. And then if you want to follow my man Johnny Raps on Instagram, there it is right there. Go ahead and give him a follow. You can see what's coming out this summer, fall, and winter musically. He has that show that he mentioned in October. He killed the first one. He's going to murder this one. And I'll definitely be there. Hopefully I can get my man Petty to come from the West Side and join us on this show. We're going to have a good time. So if you're in the New York area in October, we'd love to see you. Talk to Raps. If you see me, I'll buy you a drink. We're going to have a good old time. So now that we've got...
Hear me, man. I'm approachable.
He's very approachable, man. He's a lyrical assassin, but in real life, he's as sweet as a Teddy Graham. I love this guy. This is my brother for real. Not entertainment shit. He is my brother for real. Lovely, lovely gentleman. And as I mentioned, one of my favorite MCs, not rappers, because anybody can be a rapper. One of my favorite MCs in the game. Everything that I send him, I think he could rap to the beat to Mario Brothers. Honestly,
try, man.
There's
nothing. Cocoa Brothers did that though.
Who?
Cocoa Brothers, but Smith and Wesson, when they were Cocoa Brothers, did
when they got sued. That's right. They did do that.
It's called Super Brooklyn.
Swing your arms from side.
He wants Kitty Pryde to be Tom Holland's Spidey new girlfriend.
Hey,
it happened, but it's not going to be the Kitty Pryde that you already been getting in the movies because
she's Ellen Page now. So
yeah, Ellen Page is not. What is Ellen Page? Ain't Ellen Page anymore, right?
Yeah, she's Elliot Page now. So plus
they are Elliot Page now.
Yes, they are. Yes, and even if she was, she's like 40 years older than Tom Holland, so it would have been kind of creepy.
We do. I mean, who would be the new Kitty Pryde? That's something we could talk about at some point.
Absolutely, we could do. Hey, we're going to talk about the future of X-Men. Maybe if y'all want to tell us who you want to see cast and roles. Obviously, we're going to see some leftovers from the Fox universe. I think that's clear. But yeah, we'll talk about it. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. Our full Deadpool and Wolverine with spoilers. First, let's start off with a rating. Scale of 1 to 10. 1 being, oh, this is hot trash. 10 being, this is game changing. What would you give it, Raps?
I mean, I can't say anything other than a 10 for me. It's something. I feel like it's a movie that had shit that hadn't been done before, and that they did it better than I imagined that they were going to be honest. So I can't. If I would rate it beyond the scale of 10. It's off the scale. It's its own. It's like its own thing,
It's his own thing, and it was really a love letter to everything that came before the MCU. I didn't expect it to be that sentimental. The plot itself, if you really want to get into technicalities, and we don't do that shit here, but if you really want to go into technicalities, the plot was a little thin. The stakes when you have two indestructible heroes are a little thin, but fuck it, the way it made me feel, bro, the way that I enjoyed that shit, the way that I was so hyped and ready I'm talking about from the intro to the exit, absolute 10. He is Marvel genius, Jesus. Which is also one of Rap's AKAs, but he really, Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, RDJ, these are people that I would not want to follow behind them in that role. Can you imagine anybody else playing Deadpool at this point? Like, he's going to have to do it till he's 120, and then he's going to have to sell his soul to AI. I can't imagine. Same thing with Hugh Jackman. He's been Wolverine for 24 years, and I cannot imagine anyone else doing it.
Yeah. I mean,
So
someone else could, but it's big shoes to fill. The thing with with me and Hugh Jackman is you know, there's really been a full trajectory there, because when he was in the first X-Men movie, upon first watching of it, at least, I did not like him as Wolverine.
Right.
I was like, that's not Wolverine. He's a pretty boy.
Too tall. He's a Broadway guy.
They showed us a comic book height accurate version in in Deadpool. So we got to, you know, for those of us that were saying that at one point, we got to eat our words.
Because shut us up. He looked ridiculous. and I'm not much taller than Wolverine, but that extra 7 inches makes a whole hell of a difference. He was adorable.
He was adorable. Well, then, because if he's that tall, he looks like that. Then what if we had Puck from Alpha Flight standing next to him?
It would have to be Peter Dinklage, and I know he's not being cast as every dwarf, but it would have to be.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is like Hugh Jackman, he really grew on me to the point where when they did fucking Logan, I cried when he died.
Yeah, same.
You know,
same.
So he earned the role. He lived the role. Again, just tremendously hard shoes to fill, because no matter what you do, whoever the next person is, no matter how good they are, they're still going to get compared to him.
Yeah.
I mean, people still compare new Batmans to Michael Keaton, and Michael Keaton has only been Batman 3 times.
Absolutely. And there's been, 4 or 5 Batmans since him, plus multitude of animated, but when you're the first,
we're talking like in cinema 4 or 5. There's also been like shows and stuff, like
brand new show on Amazon, Cape Crusader. Have you checked that out yet?
I haven't checked it out, but it looks awesome.
It's pretty awesome. It's like 1930s Batman, crime noir. We're about 3 episodes in, but it's super dope. But
is it all an hour, or are they dropping it 1 episode at a time?
No, they dropped them all like bam. They're all available right now. So I'm 3 episodes in. I'm definitely recommend it.
Have you watched the My Adventures with Superman?
Yeah, I just finished season 2.
Is it cool?
It's really fucking cool.
That's what everybody says. It's amazing. I'm like, what is up with this Adult Swim Superman show? Why is it?
The animation is weird. The animation is definitely weird. I don't know who Rowan Blanchard is, but I have to check her out. Do you know who Rowan Blanchard is, Raps?
No.
I don't know. Send us a picture. Well, no, not if she's a minor. Don't send us any
No.
I like my freedom. It's really fucking amazing, man. The animation style is Jerry. The guy who plays Huey from The Boys is the voice of Superman. Jack Quaid. He's Dennis Quaid's son, and it's really, really good. It's like that hopeful, all-American Superman, but not corny. It's really, really, really good. So if you haven't checked it out, they got 2 seasons out. It's on Max. Super dope, super dope. It's like Adult Swim Superman, like you said, and it's getting me hyped for the DCU.
I'm watching cartoons.
Yeah, I love the fucking cartoons. And their animated is far better than Marvel's animated. I always said the cinema, Marvel, animation, DC. If you want guidance on who's superior. Now there's a couple of shows sprinkled in, like I say, X-Men 97. We didn't get an opportunity to review that. That's top tier shit. But overall, DC has a superior animation. So let's just start because it's been a week since the movie. Both of us saw it opening night, and we're both stoners, so our memories may not be as fresh as they have been. I took the opportunity to cut up some bootleg clips so we can remind ourselves of exactly how dope this movie. So let's start with the entrance. I as much as I love hip hop, and I do, it's in my core. I have no qualms about it. I love pop music too. I just love good music. So
great
this
use of pop music in this movie, man.
great use, great use. So let's just start with a little bit of the entrance. And once again, spoilers, spoilers. It's been a week. This is all over the internet. Don't jump off of a bridge because you saw this on the Unknown Comic Book Podcast. You only have yourself to blame. So let's check out a little bit of the intro. Baby, go ahead, JC. Oh man, what a lot of people were mad because it was a stunt double dance, and I'm like, this guy writes, produces, acts. Give him a fucking break. You want to be a quality dancer as well? He's like a 45-year-old white man from Canada. I was like, shit, let him live. But dude, awesome intro. To desecration, like coming in right here, let you know that this is not the same Logan. I don't think they could have done that any better than literally digging up his corpse and making it. I never thought of using those animanium lace bones as weapons. Chef's kiss. What did you think about the intro?
No, it was great. It was so fun. Set the tone perfectly, and yeah, again, brutal. Great. You know, the TVA. You know, it's a nice juxtaposition because the TVA looks very threatening.
Yeah.
They're coming at him like from all these different portals and stuff, and he's just having a good old time. You know, so sets the tone of the film right there.
Absolutely. And it shows you how badass Deadpool is because the TVA just, if you've watched Loki, which is absolutely must, that's the one drawback, not for me because I watch everything MCU good or bad. But if you haven't watched season Loki 1 or 2, a lot of these concepts are going to go right over your head. And you're going to be like, what the fuck is a TVA? What the fuck is
you gotta watch Loki, guys. Gotta watch Loki.
You have to.
And it's good, though. It's good. You're not, you know.
Oh, no, it's not a punishment at all. I think it's an awesome show. But I would say it's more important to watch Loki season 1 and 2 than to watch Deadpool 1 and 2 to understand what's going on in this particular movie. That's how.
Yeah. Because a lot of the other through lines, he's the rest of his cast almost isn't there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They're there for like
the TJ Maxx's character isn't there. Like, you know, we have Blind Al,
right, and Vanessa for like 20 seconds, and Dopinder. But other than that,
Peter. Everybody has a Peter, right?
Everybody has a Peter, but there's no Cable, there's no Domino, there's none of the characters from the first two really that make sense. And like I said, this is Deadpool and Wolverine. And I just realized I put Deadpool versus Wolverine. Oops. But it is clearly they're moving this squarely on those guys' shoulders, and they did a fantastic job. Now, the action, man, some of the action, to me, my favorite, I like more grounded action. And there's two movies that stand above the rest for me as far as action, and it's Civil War and Winter Soldier. That's my style. Some of that like Tom Clancy, like hand to hand. I think Civil War did Black Panther better than any of the Black Panther movies. Like, to me, that kind of arrogant, you know, when Clint was introducing himself and, you know, T'Challa's like, I don't care. And, They kind of made him Disney-fied in his own movie. But Civil War, to me, that's my T'Challa. So that hand-to-hand action, what do you think about some of the fights in this movie? Now, I mentioned that obviously there's very little stakes when you have two characters like Deadpool and Wolverine. Like, it's pretty much impossible to kill them. But the action to me was like, that's the most Wolverine I've ever seen Wolverine.
Oh, yeah, true.
You know, besides the comic books, of course.
Facts. And again, he got to be rated R Wolverine.
Exactly. Trying to throw him in a PG-13 movie was never a great idea from the jump. Like, when you see Logan and when you see this, you're like, damn, we wasted like 20-some years of this character with the neutered version that, you know, without the blood and gore. and the visceralness. But I took a clip of some of the. It's not my favorite fight, but one of the dopest fights in the movie. So check this out, guys. Yeah, man, that crawling on the ground, and oh man, the uniform, the costume. Finally, thank you. It just shows when you have people that love the source material, what happens. Every movie from the Joss Whedon Avengers to Kevin Feige really helming the MCU to the James Gunn Guardians of the Galaxy, when you have a creator to Ryan Reynolds to Hugh Jackman that really loves the character, that loves the source material, you can't go wrong. You know, you don't have to put people in leather motorcycle, S&M biker outfits or anything like that. You can really, it's not ridiculous. It always looks good. It always feels good. And, you know, you talked about the feeling of that, seeing those battles and seeing those comic accurate costumes. Super awesome to me. Super awesome.
Totally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, it's just, it's far overdue in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Yeah. And they not only gave us one. A lot of people like the yellow blue. I've always been the brown and tan for me.
Yeah.
That's always been my favorite. And they fucking did that too. So check it out. Did you catch the reference to Loki when Loki called Hulk a doll creature? The same. I wanted to what did Reynolds say? A smash debate when I saw that, because Hulk is one of my favorite characters.
Oh, love Hulk, man.
You
love
know.
Hulk. Speaking of which, have we been seeing the rumors about one of the potential upcoming projects?
The Hulk versus Wolverine?
Yes.
I have been seeing the rumors about that, which, by the way, Hulk versus Wolverine, the animated movie, also Chef's Kiss. Please check that out. I would have a nerd
on digital. I don't think that's available on digital right now.
It's not. I actually have the DVD.
I have the DVD too. It came with the Thor one.
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, it was a two-parter with
Hulk versus Thor.
Yeah, that was pretty good too, where Loki mind controls Hulk and he just goes to Asgard and starts wrecking shit. You'll probably have to go on eBay or something to find it, but it's highly worth it.
Good, and Deadpool's in that too.
He is in that. Export a lot of the
Weapon X. It's like a Weapon X situation. They've got Sabretooth and Lady
Mega Red, Deathstrike. Yeah, it's. Did you know Peter and Katie dated in the Ultimate? I did know that. Yes, I did.
Yes. They dated in the original canon as well. Chris Claremont introduced that concept.
Yeah, Peter gets around, man. They don't call him Peter for Peter. You know, he's laying that spider wood all around the 616. So you know.
Oh, he was talking about Peter Parker. I thought he meant Peter Rasputin.
Oh yeah, not Colossus. Yeah, no,
that's Kitty's like first love.
Yeah.
Yes, they did in the Ultimate Comics. Peter Parker and Kitty Pryde did get together. That's what I see where you're getting that idea.
I'm for it. The rumor is that Spider-Man 4 will have be a little bit more grounded. It's gonna have Daredevil, Kingpin is supposed to be the main villain. These are the rumors that I've heard in the rumor mill. And
this is the what movie?
Spider-Man 4.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're gonna have like basically Kingpin is supposed to become mayor in the new Daredevil series, and they're gonna start like the superhero registration thing up again. And so it's going to be the vigilantes with Mayor Kingpin having his own force. So I'm hearing Scorpion, Tombstone. Long as Sony doesn't fuck it up, because every now and then they're animated. Then the Spider-Verse is great, but I tried to watch Madam Web 3 times in the movies and on Netflix. Best sleep I've ever had in my life. And I know you didn't
I
really
enjoyed
hate
it.
it. You didn't really hate it.
I enjoyed it. I watched it with Shivanya, and Shivanya was into it. And Shivanya does not like superhero movies or action movies, but she thought it was a fun chase movie with, all the girls and stuff. So it was, it was an experience that I got to have with my lady. And, she wasn't all like, oh, I think this sucks the whole time. We were both kind of like, this is fun. Why does everybody hate it? But then we were also, there was still like, some fun to be had. Just kind of
it gave me Terminator
horniness. Huh?
It gave me Terminator 2 vibes with like this beast hunting down these future, but it was some like things that'll jar me is like sloppy editing and like the ADR that they did after it would like it would take me out the movie. And I would love Egerton as Wolverine. He's been rumored for years to potentially play the role, and Kevin Feige even said that whoever comes after Hugh is going to have to do something totally different. So
I don't know who Egerton is.
You ever see the what's that movie with Samuel Jackson and the Serviceman, Kingsman?
No, I ain't seen that.
Check out Kingsman. It's got Samuel Jackson. Egerton he's like an Australian, but he's more comic book height accurate. He's like 5'7", versus the like strapping 6'2", 6'3" that Hugh Jackman. But he's been rumored, another Australian actor, to take over the role of Wolverine after. So that interaction would be dope. I've actually wrote a little bit of a piece of how I would like to introduce Wolverine into the MCU, and it's not through a solo movie, it's through an Alpha Flight movie. I think that would be the best way to introduce them, but maybe we'll talk about that on another episode.
Introduce a new one.
Yeah, tell us your fantasy on how I want to see like Alpha Flight, them hunting Wendigo, and just them getting taken out one by one, almost like Predator meets like Commando. Like a horror movie. The budget needs to be R-rated. The budget could be $100 million.
And you want to kill off Alpha Flight at the beginning.
Absolutely.
You're like, these characters are only worth one movie.
One movie. They can always do a backstory if you want, but I want you can do a Disney Plus backstory. But
does that lead into Wolverine versus Hulk?
Yeah, well, it could. It most certainly. I don't know. I don't know the realism of a Wolverine versus Hulk. I've heard the rumors, but I don't know. I've also heard that the rumors, the movies in between Doomsday, which we'll talk about, Avengers Doomsday, and Secret Wars are all supposed to take place on Battle World. So that's a perfect place. It could be, to do a Wolverine Hulk versus movie. I'm here for it. Like I said, those are two of my top 10 favorite comic book characters ever. I've called myself the Black Bruce Banner millions of times. I grew up on the Bill Bixby version of the Hulk, where every episode was "Don't make me angry. You won't like me when I'm angry." And then with Lou Ferrigno in the paint. And if you have, I actually have all those seasons on Blu-ray. If you have an opportunity, check that Bill Bixby 70s Hulk.
So good. It's so
good. And the budget's so low.
I like the movies that they did with him too.
Yeah, that was the first cinematic universe there. They had Daredevil, they had Thor. Kingpin played Thor. Kingpin was Thor. It's
wait. Thor was Vincent D'Onofrio?
Yeah, that's Vincent D'Onofrio, bro.
Put two and two together on that one, man.
Yeah, man. He's a chameleon. He looks like everyone, but yeah, that was Vincent D'Onofrio. He was Thor, man. Great movie, great show. Death of Hulk, where he fell out the plane. I digress.
He goes around on the set reminding people that he was Thor.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like Thor's been eating a lot of cheeseburgers lately, but that's Thor.
You think Feige ever was on the set of She-Hulk and he was just like, Feige, come here. It'd be brilliant. Would it be brilliant as if Wilson Fisk gets the hammer to Thor?
He's worth it. in this multiverse, it's definitely possible. Now the cameos, we can't talk about Deadpool and Wolverine about the cameos. There was a lot of fake information out there. Some turned out to be true, some turned out to be real. And I have a clip, so let's watch a couple of these cameos, and then we'll talk about what was our favorite cameo and what was our biggest surprise. So let's talk.
Cameos are my favorite thing about the movie, by the way. I want to say.
Oh yeah,
like,
clear cut. So let's check out a couple of these cameos, and then we'll talk about which one was our favorite. We got to start with the guy who saved the real Marvel genius, Jesus, the one and only Wesley Snipes. Check it out.
There's only been one Blade. There's only ever going to be one Blade. Stay close. I count. Oh my.
No, there were more cameos, but those are just some of my personal favorites. Check out, did you see the cool callback to Henry Cavill doing that fist cock thing that he does in every movie for some reason with the claws? It was super fucking awesome. Blade, Wesley Snipes, 62 years old. He still has it. He has it all. If they told me they were going to cancel Mahershala Ali's version and just wanted to go with Wesley Snipes, 0 tears would be shed. I was so happy for Channing Tatum to get to do Gambit. Of course, they had Jennifer Garner reprising her role as Elektra.
Which I loved. I actually was one of my favorites.
I loved it. I feel like of course, Chris Evans as Human Torch.
We had X-23.
X-23 coming back. Daphne King as X-23, and of course Tyler Mane reprising his role as Sabretooth for a very short time. So there was some dope cameos.
There was also Pyro, the guy.
Pyro, yeah. I don't even consider that a cameo. I think he had an actual,
he had an actual role in the movie. Yeah,
he was actually a role in the movies, and so was that little force, the whole Snipes, Garner, Gambit. Yeah, they were integral, and I love how they did it. It was actually integral to the movie. It wasn't just like, hey, I used to play. It made sense. What was your favorite cameo out of the cameos that we've named, and which one shocked you the most that you were like, holy fuck, how did they pull this off?
I mean, I felt like the most shocking was the Chris Evans. I mean, I felt like they were, when I heard all the rumors, I felt like they were going to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, how are they going to do it? And it was, I guess, surprising to me how they really did a good job of setting it up that, like, hey, an actor can play any number of characters in the Marvel multiverse, guys, which then sets everything up for Robert Downey Jr. You know what I mean? That to me was the real shocker. And then, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. And they even acknowledged that he thought it was Cap. The music, the pants, the boots, everything led out to, Avengers Ascend, and he hits you with the flame on, and he's like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah. It was I didn't expect that. I didn't expect them to go like full meta with that.
Yeah.
You will. But that's what the movie is about. The movie is about like the fun of the meta aspect of comic books and comic book movies and stuff like that. It's a bunch of different creators and a whole lot of cooks in the kitchen,
Yeah.
So to try to keep everything perfectly linear is just you're going to fail at that task.
Yeah. It's an impossible task. Whenever you have, like you said, if we're making a meal and 10 people come in and say, need salt, need salt, need salt, at the end of the day, you're going to have an inedible dish. So trying to be a stickler for continuity. And I hate, I'm a sweaty nerd when it comes to this comic book stuff. But when people are like, oh, he said 6 years, and there should be 2 Wolverines or there should be 2 Captain America. It's a comic book movie. Just calm down, cool your shorts. It's not that serious.
Not that serious. There's no reason to get upset here.
This is not an historical. I've been, keeping the UCP name alive while we're on hiatus over in TikTok. Please go over and follow us on TikTok. And I see some of these comments. I'll post something and I'll post a video, and there's like people debating fictional stuff like it's actual science. Like you could never bleed a lightsaber like this. And like, there are no lightsabers. There are no kyber crystals. It's not real. Whatever the fucking writer says it is.
Exactly.
It's what it fucking is. They're like having angry debates, and I'm like, you fucking nerds.
Look, Superman, when Superman first started, he had like that gave him new powers every issue because they didn't know what the fuck he could do.
He didn't even fly. That's why they say jumps over, what is it? Faster than speed of locomotive, which in retrospect isn't that fast. Like a train's going like 60 miles an hour. Or leaps a single building in a single bound. If they knew he would fly when he first came, they would have said, "Oh, and he could fly." So yeah, just it evolves. It's okay.
It's fun. It's supposed to be fun. Don't take it too serious. So that set things up, and then also after they did that, then I was like, okay, I know we're getting a bunch of the rest of the people that they rumored about.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So, and to be honest, the only one that I didn't not hear a rumor about this, but I just wanted him to be in it because I love it. But I thought a nice touch would have also, for the Resistance team, would have also been Nicolas Cage as Ghost Rider.
I've always been more Nicolas Cage. Always.
Yeah, but I think, to be honest, it might have been a budget thing. Plus, they've already got him working on Spider-Man Noir, so maybe they're like, we don't want to confuse it because he'll have him playing 2 characters at the same time virtually.
Plus, Ghost Rider is pretty OP. If you start putting too many characters, it takes some of the threat away from Cassandra Nova.
That's true. He's a very powerful character.
He's a very powerful character. So the characters
they might not have needed the rest of that team if they had
exactly. He could have just went on his motorcycle and gave her a penance stare, and the movie would have been over. So and to me, I think the most surprising was Blade, just because the rumored history. For those who don't know, I think. Quote me if I'm wrong, either Chris Evans or Ryan Reynolds holds the record for playing the most comic book characters. It's one of those two. And Ryan Reynolds was Hannibal King in Blade Trinity, and they notoriously had a terrible time on set. Wesley Snipes did not like his ad lib. They said he stayed in character the whole time. And Blade's not the friendliest person in the world. So seeing him come back was truly shocking because the industry rumors were that they hated each other. And of course, when he said the line, my favorite line in all of Marvel history, motherfuckers always try to ice skate uphill. My nipples were hard. I was like, fuck yeah. Hell, this is great. So, and then of course his little line, there's only been one Blade. I know Sticky Fingers is somewhere like, hey man, I was fucking Blade too. But that was awesome. That was awesome. Now,
wait a minute. Sticky Fingers played Blade?
Yeah, bro, you didn't know that?
No.
They did a whole they did a whole Blade TV show for like 2
years. That TV show. I didn't know that was Sticky Fingers.
It was hot trash. It was really bad. But yeah, for like 2 years, Sticky Fingers played Blade.
You know, the craziest sounding Blade ever.
He really was. He was like, hey, I can't even do the voice without laughing. I was just waiting for it to be like, the motherfucking guns in the air. But yes, Sticky Fingers played Blade. Shout out to Onyx, one of my favorite rappers.
That's awesome, bro. I had no idea that. Now I have to go watch that show.
You have to go. I don't know where you can.
For years, I was like, I need to watch that Blade show that happened, but I don't know.
Yeah, that was
even worth my time. Now I know.
That was Sticky Fingers. Now I want some Sticky Fingers Onyx Blade merch. Like, somebody needs to get onto that. I would rock that. maybe we'll do if we can find it. Maybe we'll do a watch party and have people come and watch the Sticky Fingers Blade with us. That's on the Johnny Raps brand. That's like
bro.
That's like the marriage of Johnny Raps right there. If I've ever seen one.
That's perfect, man. That's perfect. Well, you asked which was the you asked what was our most surprising and then most favorite.
Yes,
Blade was my favorite cameo. Yeah.
He fucking killer, man. He was fucking killer, man. He was fucking killer. My most surprising, like I said, was Blade, and it was probably also my favorite. I was also pleasantly surprised at Channing Tatum as Gambit, because when he got cast as Gambit, I think in 2014, I was kind of like, yeah. And Gambit is one of my favorite characters, especially after what he did in X-Men 97. And it was cool to see him do some of those step-up moves. You know, he was doing a little capoeira, and, you know, the accent he actually did, you know, no disrespect to Taylor Kitsch, but who played Gambit in X-Men Origins. He didn't do the Creole. That is like, if you don't do the Cajun accent, what the fuck are you doing? It's like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. So it was dope. And then, you know, Ryan Reynolds, of course, in the smart ass way, you know, like, what are you saying? Who's your dialogue coach? I don't understand what you're going on. It was fucking awesome. It was awesome. Now, before we wrap up the Deadpool and Wolverine review and then move on to our final topic, let's talk about Cassandra Nova, because she is, I don't want to say she's not well known, but she's definitely
she's a more obscure X-Men character in that she's a bad guy that came out over the last like 20 years or so. I think maybe 1999-ish or something was.
That sounds about right.
I don't know. It's in Grant Morrison's new X-Men run when he introduced her. She's basically the first bad guy in his series, and yeah, I mean, I thought it was great. I mean, it was a much younger interpretation of the character because
in the comic book she's kind of creepy and old. I mean, she's got to be old because she's Professor X's twin, so he's old. She should also be old. I think they gave her some powers that she didn't have in the comic book, which is not new for the MCU. But I think Emma Corrin, I wasn't familiar with her. She was charming. She was funny.
Kind of hot.
I knock it down, absolutely. Bald head and all. Put some baby oil on it. Oh, that's another show. But and she was terrifying. You know, she was bad. I think it was my favorite Deadpool villain out of the three movies by far. And she's right up there because Marvel has had some trouble with villains. I think that's not anything that's.
The annoying thing about Deadpool 2 is they set us up to have Mr. Sinister, and then we never got Mr. Sinister.
They've had about 7 X-Men movies where we've been set up to have Mr. Sinister, and it's just never happened. And Mr. Sinister is one of my favorite villains. He did great in X-Men 97 for those who have seen that. I'm hearing rumors that he's going to be the head. Instead of Magneto, as always, he's going to be the head of the bad guys for the X-Men in the MCU. He's going to, like, that phase is going to be focused on Mr. Sinister. Good old Nathan. But I love
story for once, please.
Please, like they recycled the hell out of Magneto. I was glad we didn't see Magneto or Professor X in this movie because, you know, and they mentioned them that like they had been in the Void before, but she had killed them. But she was dope. I think she was a dope villain. It made sense. She was badass, wonderful in the role. And with the multiverse, you know, maybe we'll get her back. She always seems to come back in the comic book, so I don't know.
Yeah, she was recently a good guy in the comics.
Yeah, you know, during the Krakoa.
They can do kind of what they want with the character.
Absolutely.
I mean, to that end, all the bad guys became good guys again because they were all given a clean slate at the beginning of the Krakoan era.
Exactly. So I'm for it. She was dope. Overall, like I said, we both gave it 10s, took it off the scale. It's been a long wait for something. Marvel's been up and down with the Disney Plus, but I feel like the course correction it's on its way. Phase 4 was somewhat forgettable, although there was some classics up there, but I felt it was a little rudderless, a little directionless, and I feel, like I said, the box office shows it. It's already I think it hit $1 billion today in a week.
Yeah, Disney ain't going to have trouble putting out any more rated R movies. They're not going to hesitate.
Not at all. They said Blade is supposed to be the next rated R movies, but the type of cha-ching they're bringing in. And also, I want to give credit to the marketing campaign.
Yeah.
Because they were everywhere together. And, I've seen them on Hot Ones. I've seen them with Gordon Ramsay. I've seen them hosting late night. I think they came on an episode of Down in the Den. They were everywhere that you could possibly be. And it shows when you put that type of energy in the movie with the marketing campaign and actually bring a quality product. The MCU is not dead. Superhero fatigue is not a thing. It's just you put some shitty movies out. And that's what happens when you put some shitty movies out. But you've also put some quality stuff, and you have to listen to the people. Every character doesn't deserve its own Disney Plus show or its own. You can still bring the characters, but they need to, that's why you have A-tier characters, B-tier characters, C-tier characters. I think Marvel had got so cocky that they were like, if we put Marvel on it, we can do a movie about Puck. And nobody, we don't want to see a whole movie about that. They could be a side character. So kudos to Kevin Feige for having the balls to make a rated R movie. Kudos to Hugh Jackman for coming back when a lot of people said, oh, you're gonna ruin your prestige of Logan. Shout out because it's been 6 years, 6 years gap since Deadpool. Overall dope movie, highly recommended. It gets a UCP stamp of approval. Check it out.
Totes.
All right. So that's it for the review, you guys. Please check that out. And now we're going to get into what's going on next with they clearly they're not done with some of these Fox characters. Clearly with Secret Wars coming up, we thought when the MCU was when they got the rights to the X-Men, that it was going to be a clean slate, new characters for everyone. To me, it seems like we're going to have Hugh Jackman at least through Secret Wars at the bare minimum. I don't see he's in the mask most of the time. So as long as he can talk, he can play that role. Even if he gets old, he has makeup on and makes him look, all fucked up anyway. Ryan Reynolds, I wouldn't be surprised if the way that it's making money, if this doesn't start another trilogy for Deadpool in the background. They could literally they've done Deadpool and Wolverine. They could do Deadpool and Spider-Man. They could do Deadpool and Cable. They could do Deadpool and X-Force. There's infinite ways that they can go with that. What do you feel this leaves us for the future of the X-Men? Because now we have X-23, we have Hugh Jackman, we have Deadpool back in place. The rumors are that the universe of Deadpool is the same universe that if you saw the Marvels, where we saw Beast and we saw what's her name, the black girl, Miss Marvel's mom, whatever.
Miss Marvel's mom.
She wears the white. Anyway, that's supposedly the same universe.
See, I didn't see the Marvels.
You haven't seen the Marvels?
I didn't get to see the Beast scene yet with Kelsey.
Okay, I should have clipped that up. But for those who don't know, a lot of people didn't see the Marvels. It wasn't a financial success, but it wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't a bad movie by any means.
I just need to watch Miss Marvel. I want to watch Miss Marvel before I see it, and I haven't watched Miss Marvel yet. It's a lot of shows that I have a hard time keeping up with.
yeah, you definitely need to watch Miss Marvel before you go into the Marvels because you're gonna be like, who is this Indian chick? But it is super. It's not a bad movie. It got a lot of negative results or reviews, but I think some comic book fans, and I hate it because you think if you're an X-Men fan, which is all about being inclusive. So I don't understand how you can be an X-Men fan and be like, oh, I hate women. I hate they changed the gender, they changed the race. I'm like, I don't give a fuck what race, what gender, as long as you encompass what the character is, go for it. But you have those people, I can't believe it. They used to hate Miles Morales, and now all these guys are like, oh, Miles Morales, oh. So like give it a chance. But at the end, there's pretty much an incursion, and yes, she is Pakistani. I apologize. But at the end, Monica Rambeau's character gets trapped in an X-Men universe, and we see Kelsey Grammer reprise his role as Beast, comic accurate Beast with the science robe and the glasses on, and she sees her mom, who she thinks died of cancer, but her mom doesn't know her. I think her mom's Photon.
Photon, yeah, Photon.
Yeah. Give me a second. And she has the mega bands, and she's like, Mom, and she's like, who's this bitch? Then Beast is like, I'll tell Xavier. So that's supposedly the same universe that we have Deadpool, Wolverine, X-23 now all established, which means if there's a Charles, and there's a Beast, and then we have Logan and Deadpool, we pretty much have a full and a comic accurate Colossus, because you have that Colossus from Deadpool. We have a pretty much comic accurate X-Men universe. So what do you think we're going? Because where I think we're going, but where do you think we're going with this, with the fully established Avengers, fully established X-Men in a whole nother universe? We know this multi-phase is all going to end up as Secret Wars. Which
going to Battle World, bitches. We're going to Battle World.
There you go. There you go.
We'll do an Avengers versus X-Men movie. We're going to see Avengers fighting X-Men in Secret Wars. Like that was a huge component of the original Secret Wars story, is that the mutants divided themselves on Battle World.
Yeah.
Well, right. It was like there was like bad guys, and then there was like good guys, and then there was like the mutants.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think you're absolutely right. I think we're going to have one last hurrah for the Fox X-Men. And I think we're going to see them on Battle World. I don't think there's going to be a whole Avengers versus X-Men movie, but I certainly feel that when the Battle World starts, that universe is going to be fighting the established Avengers that we have, or the new Avengers that we have, and I'm looking forward to it. So the future's bright for the X-Men. For us X-Men fans, since X-Men '97, we've been eating good. We've been getting chunky with the Deadpool and Wolverine, and I'm here for it. I'm trying to get man boobs from eating all this X-Men content. I'm super excited for it. So that brings us to the final topic of the day. There's been some controversy. Some people hate it. Some people love it. I'm on the love it scene. Normally we give you a raps reads, but this one is really all about the cinematic universe. So I will preface it with a Mars reads for this one. A lot of people that said, oh, this is ruining. Check out Demon in an Armor, which is a play off of the Demon in a Bottle. It's a what if comic book where Dr. Victor Von Doom, instead of being college roommates with Reed Richards, like in the traditional canon, he's roommates with Tony Stark. And it's very perfect because it is the Tony Stark that we know from the movies, and that we know he's a playboy. Doom's like this poor Latvian kid who's like on a scholarship, and he's like studying super hard, and like Tony Stark comes in like, yo, what's up, roomie? I got these hoes. You trying to smash some of these hoes? And Doom is pretty much like, you incompetent American, like, I need to focus on my studies, and I'll only tolerate you if you work hard. And Tony Stark's like, word, by the way, your formula is wrong on the board, and I'm gonna get back to these hoes. And Doom essentially says, look, he realizes, oh shit, Tony Stark's right, corrects his formula, and he kind of gets that begrudging respect, because anything of Doom is he respects intelligence. And Doom pretty much is like, okay, if I had the privilege and wealth of Tony Stark, I could essentially change the world. So he tells Stark, hey, I'm building this machine that will give everyday people telepathic powers or telekinetic powers. So we could use this if someone's paralyzed. We can have them be able to move their legs with their mind, which I always wonder why Professor X doesn't do that. But and Tony Stark agrees to work on this machine. And then Tony Stark's like, as Tony Stark would do, like, okay, let's test it. I want to see what these telekinetic powers are about. And when he sits in the chairs, Doom is going to doom, and the braces come on. And he's like, you fool, I'm not giving you telekinetic powers. I'm going to swap brains with you. And my brain's going to be in your body, and I'm going to be able to do so many great things with your wealth. And it also wipes Tony Stark's mind. So he does that. The authorities come in, and then, Doom in the body of Tony Stark essentially it's like, oh, this crazy Latvian captured me and tried to hurt me. And they kick a mind wipe Tony Stark in the body of Victor Von Doom, off of campus. He essentially becomes homeless, becomes an alcoholic. In the meantime, Victor Von Doom and Tony Stark's body builds up Stark Industries, ends up pretty much taking over the world like he would. And then Tony Stark goes back to Latveria in Victor Von Doom's body, but he's still a genius. He ends up building Doom Industries. So they have like parallel growth, and eventually they become almost rivals. And Doom comes over in his green Iron Man armor, while you have Stark in his traditional Latvian yellow and red Dr. Doom armor in a battle. And the story pretty much ends with Doom and Tony Stark's body like getting defeated by Victor Von Doom and Stark. And it's confusing in Victor Von Doom's body. And he's like, all right, man, we swap mine. I will give you your body back. I will give you your life back. And Tony Stark's like, why would I want the name of Tony Stark? It's known as villainy now. I'm going to stay Victor Von Doom. So there is precedent for RDJ being in this role. Don't know if they're going to go that route, but I just wanted to set that. Yes, X-Men 97 is absolutely work of art. The gentlemen and ladies over there did a hell of a job. But I say that to give you that comic book so you can get an idea of where they could potentially go. There's also other comic books, Superior Iron Man, where Stark has taken a more villainous role. So I actually
Iron Man,
infamous Iron Man, yes, absolutely. So there are roles. They're very similar characters, except Doom is more magic than just tech based. He's like the perfect blend of, like, if Doctor Strange and Iron Man had a baby, you get Dr. Doom. Mm-hmm. So do you think it's lazy casting? Do you think it's inspired casting? What's your personal opinion on
I think it's inspired casting? I think, again, I think they're breaking the mold. And again, they you set up, you say there's a comic book precedent. They also just set up a precedent in the movies where it's like, hey, fuck it. We can have, if we like this actor, we can have them play whoever characters. You know what I mean? So with Chris Evans, it's just, I feel, part of me almost feels like that's why they did that.
Yeah.
So that they could just be like, hey, this is an actor we like. We want to work with him again. We already know he doesn't suck. He has a name. A lot of times when they use new actors for superhero properties, sometimes it's people you don't know.
Yeah.
And, you know, I really wanted Doctor Doom to be somebody that I had heard of.
Yeah.
Once.
Yeah.
So, and you know, we may not even see his face ever.
And that's the thing, you know, Doom, depending on the comic book, some it's just a little blemish, some he's like hideously disfigured, but all of them he wears a mask. So, you know, he's going to probably put on an accent, and RDJ is amazing at accents. We may never see him. They may never acknowledge. A lot of people saying, oh, he's going to be a Tony Stark variant. He doesn't have to be.
He doesn't have to be.
He doesn't have to be. Between
to be honest, that would be, at this point, that would be the obvious thing to do.
That would be the lazy thing to do. And I respect whatever route they go. The Russo brothers have written some of the best MCU movies, bar none, if not the best, between Winter Soldier, the Endgame, and Infinity War, and Civil War. The Russos are a mate of directed, but they brought the whole team back. McFeely's back to write, Russo's back to direct. I think they kind of dropped the ball on Kang, and then with all the controversy, they painted themselves in the corner. That one post-credit scene in Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, where every Kang was Jonathan Majors, every single one. You can't now bring in another dude and be like, oh, I'm Kang. No, we've already established. So I think this is really the only recourse. My only hope is that by the time 2026 comes around, that we can have some forgiveness for Jonathan Majors. Yes, he was convicted, but if you look at the actual charges, the man didn't really do anything. He got a bum rap, and he's a phenomenal actor. I love what he did in Loki. He was the best part of Quantumania, and I think good point. Yeah, I would love to see, even if it's just him to reprise his role for Doom to come in and just destroy the entire Council Kangs. You know, pull a Thanos, like how Thanos at the beginning of Infinity War, he had already got the Power Stone. He had already wrecked Xandar. You know, you could literally have him come in, in like they said, I brought all of us, and then just a bomb goes off, and you can see like Kane's running and screaming like on fire, like, holy shit, what's going on? And Doom comes in and like, I'll be taking this power. I hope they give him an opportunity and even bring him back in the next phase. If they do a Young Avengers, Kang is a recurring villain for the Young Avengers. I think there's time and there's precedent. They forgave James Gunn. Obviously, RDJ has a history. At the end of the day, if fans want it, we know Jonathan Majors wants to get back in the role. But I think this is a course correction that was required. So I have a little bit of clip from San Diego Comic-Con with the introduction of RDJ as Doom. So check it out for those who haven't seen it.
I mean, this is potentially one of the more entertaining characters in all of fiction. If we're going to do this, if we're going to bring him to movie theaters worldwide, then I think we're going to need the greatest actor in the world to play that character. Wow. Yeah, okay, ladies and gentlemen, as proof of the unimaginable possibilities in the Marvel multi-universe, we give you the one person who could play Victor Von Doom.
New mask. Same task. What did I tell you? I like playing complicated characters.
Wow. All right. Like Robert.
Now, somebody in the crowd called it out before he took the mask off. I was like, how did you call that?
Yeah, immediately. Somebody also said go right ahead.
I said I would have never guessed that.
No, not in a million years. One person, if you listen, they said Ben Affleck.
That was hilarious.
The greatest actor of all time, which actually probably wouldn't have been too bad. And obviously there's a ton of quality actors. I was personally looking for Cillian Murphy from Oppenheimer. He played the Scarecrow 28 Days Later, Peaky Blinders. I thought he would be really, really good. I saw someone online like, oh, this is whitewashing. Why didn't they hire a real Latvian? It's not a real fucking country, people.
We don't even know where it's located. We don't even know where it's located.
It could be. I'm like, oh my god, some of the ignorance I see online. Like, oh, guess what? Chadwick Boseman wasn't a real Wakandan. No one is.
It's like I'm gonna go on a traveling vacation. I'm gonna travel the world, and I'm gonna go to Latveria, and I'm gonna go to Wakanda, and I'm gonna go to Madripoor.
Madripoor, not real. Then I'm gonna
go to what is it? Sokovia.
Then I'm gonna head on over to Metropolis and Gotham
on the way.
Oh my god, like people, it's not real. I think, but overall, I think it's dope, and I think it gives them so many options, regardless what they do. It's the multiverse, and we all believe that this is going to lead to a somewhat soft reboot after Secret Wars, similar to how the 2015 Hickman comic ended. I just want to see in Secret Wars, obviously it's never a direct adaptation. What is something from Secret Wars, the comic book, 1 or 2, that you really want to see translated into the movie?
I mean, I think they're going to do what the most recent iteration of Secret Wars did, which is somewhat like reboot the universe.
Yeah, I agree.
Even potentially using the Fantastic Four in the way that they did.
Yeah, and they've announced that the Fantastic Four will be in both Avengers movies.
Yeah.
And so Frank Richards will be in Fantastic Four, as well as Valeria Richards. That the future Foundation will be a major part of the. It's not going to be so much of an origin story. They're going to be an established team. Yeah. So from another universe. So I do think exactly that the ending will be RDJ handing God Emperor Doom powers over to Reed, and Reed and Franklin rebooting the universe with some of the actors coming back. I believe Fantastic Four will be around for the next 10 years, but finally give it an opportunity for, I think Hugh will, not Toby. They'll give him his good long kiss goodnight. RDJ is long kiss goodnight. Chris Evans, long kiss goodnight. One scene that was one of my favorite from Hickman's Secret War 2015. I want to see Thanos, a variant of Thanos, and they mentioned that King Thanos may be a part of it. You have this opportunity to mix some of these great villains with these superheroes, and they're all on the same team for a big cause to, their own little revolution against God Emperor Doom, which I think will be RDJ. But I just want to see like Thanos, who caused so much trouble to Iron Man, like that variant, and Doom saying, "Do you have the Infinity Gauntlet now?" He's like, "No, but I'm the Mad Titan. I'm more than," and him just ripping his spot. That was one of the coolest scenes in the comic book. I want to see that, and as long as they do that, I'm happy. I would love to see that. But I'm looking forward to it. I think they've course corrected. It's going to be an interesting. I mean, we'll get those, I think, May of 2026. So we're less than 2 years away. It's in no time. And we'll be here to talk about it. So I'm excited, man. Anything else? Yeah. Anything else about RDJ before we wrap this? Because we gave y'all an extra 17 minutes since we've been gone so long. But is there anything else that you're like stoked about for the next coming two Avengers movies, Doomsday, and Secret Wars?
I just hope I live to see it all, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay safe. I'm wearing my seatbelt, I'm wearing condoms, I'm doing everything I can to make sure I survive these next 2 years because I gotta see it.
Let's see what happens.
Absolutely. So, guys, we will be back. Once again, we'll never leave you again this long. We've been working, but the UCP family is just that. We will always be there. Thank you guys for tuning in over there on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X or Twitter or whatever you want to call. I see you guys all out there tuning in to us. We appreciate that.
Just like MCU is back, we're back, baby.
We're back, and then of course we have to talk about as the DCU gets close to the new Superman movie. I mean, I don't think that's all Disney stuff. I don't think Tom Holland was a Disney star. I know Zendaya was, but correct me if I'm wrong. I could be. I'm a grown man, so I don't look at like the kiddie Disney stuff. I just I look at the Marvel stuff, but I can't tell you about the kiddie stuff. I'm not so much into that. But yeah, it's going to be some very exciting years for the MCU. DCU is coming out with brand new stuff under James Gunn's leadership. I'm really excited to see the new Superman movie. I put some clips on that, and of course 2026 is going to have Batman 2 Penguins coming out this year on HBO Max with Colin Farrell. So yeah, man, we got some yumminess to talk about coming up. So we're going to give you one of these specials. Try to do at least once a month, if not more, to give you some of these specials to make sure that you guys tune in. So you know what we need you guys to do: like, subscribe, leave a comment. I want you to go over and follow my man Johnny Rapp's page right now. Check out some of his music. It's available everywhere where music is streaming.
All platforms.
I personally like Tidal, pays the artist a little bit more, but I'm not telling you where to stream. But check out some of his amazing music. And of course, check out some of our content over on the Mars Media Network. We have everything. We got politics, we have music, we have we have music, we have movies, we have food, we have everything. Check out my brother Petty on his network. It is Ill Vision Entertainment over on YouTube. Pot with Petty for my smokers and tokers. Check out my brother Kyle Jones if you love sports unfiltered. He has some content over there. So the whole team is doing big things in 2024. I didn't even know Cindy Moon was in Homecoming, but I have to watch that again. But for your boy Mars, for Raps, we're going to go ahead and tune out. As I mentioned, we gave y'all extra 20 minutes, but we'll be back with more nerdy-ass content for you. We appreciate y'all for tuning in today. I'm Mars. That's Raps.
Raps.
We're out.
Peace.
Peace.